Greetings, Light Tribe. Janine Palmer here, Spirit Silver Moon for Divine Heretic Poetic Tales. I'm going to read a poem today from one of my books. This is one of the genre-specific ones, Apocalypse of Worthiness. So from the first 6 books of my Divine Heretic series, I did 3 books. One of them is Book of Worthiness. Second one is Apocalypse of Worthiness. Third one is Scriptures of Worthiness. And there's a 4th one too that's not published yet. Anyway, this poem is called Thieves. He spoke of thieves who rob us of things if we don't connect with our truth within. If we follow blindly along, adopting beliefs and belief in false notions of sin. Of course, there are things we should not do. In unkindness to our brother man, we learn by our mistakes and experiences, and we rise when fear can't stand. He said many of the thieves are churches and religions, and the preachers who don't fully understand what they preach. They are selling lies and misinterpretations, unbeknownst to most, though they bequeath. Certain things which were presented in certain times in certain ways, adopted as truth and defended to the death, balancing illusion on the edge of a blade. Thieves are many things which may be subtle, which masks the deeper truth from all. And with incomplete and inaccurate information, the masses stumble and they fall. Have you noticed the wars and the strife, the famine, the fear, and the greed? Have you noticed how people hurt each other and hearts are left to bleed? But they will stand stubbornly in their position, convinced that they are right, caught up in the separation gimmick, which darkness uses to create our plight. Until we finally wake up and disconnect from illusion's snare, to realize no one is better than anyone else, to reconnect with your divinity if you dare, to disengage from judgment, to forgive and to rise above, to cease pointing the finger in blame and reconnect with collective love. Any person, place, or thing which uses fear and threats of hell to control you and take your money is ringing Satan's bell. Be very aware, O brethren, that darkness uses religion as a trap to keep men feeling unworthy in guilt and fear and lack. A vicious little cycle, trying to keep man doing what he thinks is right. While so many are disconnected from their inner kingdom, masks and illusions block their sight. Spiritually blinded by the chaos and the chatter all around, the fear-mongering of corporate media, the deviance sadly abounds. The drugs they use to numb the pain, the things they will not face, keeps them distracted from the truth of divinity's grace. Those who sit in their church listening to the preacher talk of sin don't know the preacher is just as lost, not knowing where to begin. Because the part of God they search for is found within the heart of every being, but darkness distracts with fear and illusion, so the truth he isn't seeing. The correct translation of to sin simply means to miss the mark. Churches are businesses and religions sell. Looking outside, they miss their spark. Christ comes to people free of charge. In fact, he is in every heart. Christ does not need to be sold to anyone. Take your power back. It's time to start. Think for yourself and study, and find what speaks to your soul, and find what gifts you have to share with your brethren, which is a pure and humble goal. The greed on the planet runs rampant, and churches are caught up in it too. even though they do good works. But the light you need will come directly to you. Open your heart and open your mind and look within for the answers you seek, because the churches will not inherit the world. The world belongs to the humble and meek. So that's a 3-pager on that one. So if people actually do really take the time to study ancient scriptures, teaching from different sources, and biblical scholars, they will find that the words to sin, when translated from the original languages, simply means to miss the point or miss the mark. It's an archery term. That's all it means. And metanoia is repentance, which means to change your perspective. So we've been programmed, in this country anyway, to think that to be a sinner is like that you're so bad or flawed or messed up. Okay, there's incompleteness on this planet that creates suffering and misunderstanding. But nobody is unworthy. And that, when that is recognized, that can create a huge shift for healing.